In 2005, when the superhero movie craze was really starting to take off, Fantastic Four were introduced to us on the big screen for their first theatrical movie, where fans of Marvel's oldest superhero team can finally see this unique family of superheroes realized in a motion picture. However, this rendition of Fantastic Four wasn't viewed as being quite so fantastic upon its release. To be honest, it's gotten the reputation of being a bit of a crap sandwich. And not even a crap sandwich with the good bits like ketchup. No, just an awful, unsavory crap sandwich. But to heck with that, I still really enjoyed this movie and find it to be lots of fun. So was Fantastic Four unfairly judged by a cynical world, or is it indeed a movie that is just too loud and silly beyond words? Well, today we, as in you and I, are going to try and find out by looking into 10 things that you didn't know about the Fantastic Four movie of 2005. So let's throw another failed superhero movie on the Barbie as we check it out. Number 10. The Origins of Fantastic Four. It was 1961 and Marvel Comics was born. It was formerly Timely Comics, which evolved into Atlas Comics. But now the publication had taken off in its final form, of which it would be famously known for. However, the comic brand needed a hook, something to really entice young readers and capture their imaginations. At that time, one of the biggest selling comics came from rival comic company DC, with their comic book issues of Justice League, which of course was a lineup of famous superheroes, which made Stan Lee, the editor and chief at Marvel, and artist Jack Kirby to come to the conclusion that making a superhero team is the way to go. So Fantastic Four was created, a superhero family who, while on a space mission, get bombarded by cosmic rays, which gives them superhuman powers and abilities. Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, who now has the ability to stretch his body. His wife Sue Richards, aka the Invisible Woman, who, like her name implies, can become invisible. Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, who can engulf himself in flames without getting hurt and even has the ability to fly. And finally, Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, the lovable, monstrously altered member who now has flesh of stone and superhuman strength, who would get the catchphrase, "It's clobbering time." The Fantastic Four may often be shown as a dysfunctional family at times, but they were bonded by their obscure powers, with them still caring for each other as a close-knit family. And in their adventures, they would go up against many supervillains, including the mask-wearing Dr. Doom. Although over the years, it seems that one of the biggest battles associated with the Fantastic Four was who actually created them, as Stan Lee has claimed that it was mainly his creation and that Jack Kirby mainly helped out with the illustrations. Likewise, Jack Kirby throughout his life would also suggest that the Fantastic Four was mainly his creation. Even historians have gotten in on the case to try and discover who played what part in the creation of Fantastic Four. But you know what? The way I see it, it was Jack and Stan. No need to dissect the tiny details. Really, they were both influential with the creation. Regardless, Fantastic Four was a success and put Marvel Comics on the map, with other well-known Marvel superheroes following in suit, including Spider-Man, X-Men, Iron Man, and the Incredible Hulk, and so on. In 1967, the Fantastic Four would leave the comic book pages for the first time to star in their very own cartoon, which was produced by Hanna-Barbera. Then in 1978, there was a new Fantastic Four cartoon series, appropriately called The New Fantastic Four. Now, I remember this one as a kid, and I was really confused as to why the Human Torch was replaced with a robot called Herbie. I guess it was a licensing issue, but come on, no one wants to see Herbie the robot. Bring on the Human Torch. Oddly, and I do mean oddly, The Thing got his own spin-off show, which was a joint show with the Flintstones, of all things, called Fred and Barney Meet the Thing. And finally, yet another animated series in 1994, which was part of a popular rise of Marvel-based animated shows at that time, which included the X-Men and Spider-Man. So the Fantastic Four could find its place in animation format. However, live-action movies was a whole other ball game, leading to one of the most unique and strangest chapters in superhero movie history. Number 9. The Long Road to a Fantastic Four movie. German producer Bernd Eichinger, who also produced The Neverending Story, really had his sights set on making a Fantastic Four movie as early as 1983. He was told by Stan Lee that if he wanted to buy the Fantastic Four rights, he would have to wait a few years till the rights were available, to which Eichinger did eventually buy the Fantastic Four rights, supposedly for as low as $250,000. Warner Brothers and Columbia Pictures were interested in making a Fantastic Four movie with Eichinger, but felt that the budget was too low and were scared off. Now, the rights were going to expire in 1992, and there was still no Fantastic Four movie. Eichinger asked for an extension of his lease, but he was denied. So in order to keep the rights, Eichinger had to make a movie, and fast, to which he teamed up with King of B-movies himself, Roger Corman, which would lead to the creation of the unreleased 1994 Fantastic Four movie, which was made super cheap for $1 million. Despite the movie's director and cast of this Fantastic Four movie going on tour to promote the movie, they had no idea there was never an intention of releasing the film. It was solely made for the purpose of obtaining the rights. And, yeah, look, personally, that just doesn't sit right with me. I mean, it may have been cheap, but it still actually looks pretty impressive for its budget. And it kind of sucks that all that hard work that was put into the movie by people who genuinely thought that it would be an actual release had gone to waste. However, this abandoned Fantastic Four film has become something of an obscure anomaly, a curiosity that is frequently sought after by fans of both the superhero genre and lost cinema. Number 8. 20th Century Fox takes charge. At the time the unreleased Fantastic Four movie was made, movie studio 20th Century Fox were keen to make their own Fantastic Four movie. So Marvel, along with producers Avi Arad and Ralph Winter, paid for the negatives of the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie, so they can keep the print of the movie locked up and out of sight, in order for them to work with 20th Century Fox to make an actual, intended to be released Fantastic Four film, with an appropriate budget. Jump to 1995, and Home Alone and Mrs. Doubtfire director Chris Columbus was hired to write and direct a Fantastic Four movie, and he teamed up with GoldenEye scriptwriter Michael France in order to develop